see it.
Hello and welcome to GojiraTech Podcast. I'm your host Brad Ballou with Tip of the Week, which will be Quick SSH Access. This tip will be useful for the system administrators and web programmers out there. And if this tip doesn't apply to you, don't worry about it. Just tune back in next week. Okay, we all know you can SSH with your username into your server name and type your password, and you get a login prompt. Exit returns you back to your shell. What you can also do so that you don't have to type in your password every single time is you can create a public key. And we can either create a RSA or DSA key. What we'll do is use the SSH-keygen command with the -t flag to create an RSA key. And what this will do is, we'll just take the default path right there and passphrase. Now if we look in our home directory, we have a .ssh folder. And if we go into that SSH folder, we have an RSA key and a known hosts file. That known hosts file was created when we first logged into our server. What we can do is now copy our RSA public key to the remote machine, and we'll do that here. And type in our password again. And it's copied our RSA key over for us. Now what we can do is log into the other machine. And what you can see here is there's the RSA key we copied. What we need to do is make an SSH directory. And we need to copy, actually let's move that key that we just copied over. And we need to rename it authorized keys. Now on our server machine, we've copied our key. We've created a directory called .ssh and copied that key into that directory. Let's leave our server and go back to our machine. Now, when we SSH into that machine, we no longer have to type a password. It led us straight into our server machine. Okay, one thing we can do to save additional time is add that server as an alias into our bash profile so we don't have to type out the username and server name each time. So in my home folder, I'll type vi for the editor of choice, .profile, or under some versions of Unix it would be .bash_profile. And then I hit I to begin inserting text. I'll type alias. And whatever I want my shortcut to be, I'm going to call it GJSSH and then equals and the command I want it to run. So SSH with that username into that server, hit escape to exit insert mode, then type :WQ to write and quit. At this point I'll need to relaunch my shell for it to suck the information from the profile into my current shell. Alright, now that we saved that in our profile, all we got to do is type in that alias name and it performs that command for us. We're logged into our server again. Now back to our desktop client. One thing, if you have a lot of different servers that you log into that you can also add to your profile, is a auto completion for your SSH server. And this is a pretty advanced tip that I found on the Mac OS X Hints site. We'll use our VI editor again to edit our profile. To insert after this line, we will hit the O key, sticks us in on the next line. I'm going to copy and paste this from my text editor because it's kind of a long line. Okay, basically what this line does for us is that it uses the complete command, which is a built-in function in the bash shell, and then it searches through the known host file and pulls out all the servers that we've gone into before, and it can auto-complete them for the SSH command. Okay, hit escape, and I'm going to :WQ to write and quit this. Once again, I'm going to exit my shell. Okay, now that we're back at our shell prompt, we can go back to SSH into our server. Now I've just typed the first couple letters of the server name, and I can hit tab to auto-complete the name of the server. And then I have to use -L for my login name that I want to specify. And I'm right there at the new shell prompt. And that's about it for today. I hope that was helpful for you, and I hope you can get around to using your servers that you use a little bit quicker than you did before watching this tip. And just catch us next week. We'll be back on Tuesday with more tech news for you, and then later in the week for a tip show.
Let's see it.